Good morning to all the third BCom computers and general students. Today's topic is about banks in India. Previous class also we discussed about the contemporary banks. Okay, we also discussed about foreign banks, private banks and development banks. So still a few more banks are left out which we are going to discuss today. So first and the foremost thing is indigenous bank, which is given in the list here. Indigenous bank is not originally the institution which is following all the rules and regulations and obligations which are given by RBI. This bank is not scheduled bank or public sector bank or the bank which has got the approval of RBI. This bank is run by a group of members or a family members or an individual person also. The bank which is run. Actually, this lending of finance to rural areas, underdeveloped areas and in villages has been done by few traders or few rich men of this particular village. So by this process, what happened is lending of the money has been started for the needs, basic needs of the rural areas for doing the agriculture or allied activities or any other activities in their daily life. So these indigenous bankers used to take some security from these people. What security they have? Actually they are the villages or the rural area people. Of course, they may be having the agriculture land or they may be having the utensils little bit which are made of copper or bronze or whatever it is, or jewelry or this and house papers, etc. They used to take some security from these people and they used to lend the money. Okay, this money can be lent anytime, and there is no specific period of time that by these years you should repay the amount. So what they used to do, they used to take the security, they used to charge a high rate of interest and they used to take the money from the people. So in indigenous banks, what is happening? The rate of interest is high. Okay, there are no exact rules and regulations. It is monopoly. We can say that it is monopoly bank. What the person says that the remaining all the people should follow. It is not following any rules and regulations of RBI. Okay, but maximum 70% to 90% of the Indian population depends upon these indigenous bankers in 1970. Was to depend on these bankers in 1972 and before 1972. After the Indian Banking Regulation Act has been came into existence, few banks came out. Because the banks has been came out and the public sector banks has been came into existence, slowly these indigenous banks started closing down. Clear? So once in one committee meeting, the RBI discussed that if indigenous banks runs successfully means 90% and more of the population can be taking the loans or financial assistance from these indigenous bankers. So what I mean to say finally from these indigenous banks are which doesn't follow any rules, conditions of RBI. They are not registered. Okay, they are not the public sector banks and the rate of interest is very high. They take some security and then they provide the loans. Clear? Commercial banks, contemporary banks, cooperative banks, regional rural banks we discussed previously as well as foreign. So we learn today about industrial development banks in India. Clear? So first and the foremost thing is what? We are learning about industrial development banks in India. There are many industrial banks in India. First and the foremost thing is Industrial Finance Corporation of India, IFCI. Industrial Finance Corporation of India, IFCI. Industrial Development Bank of India, IDBI. State Financial Corporation, SFC. Industrial Credit Investment Corporation of India, ICICI. Industrial Investment Bank of India, IIBI. Indian Infrastructural Finance Company Limited, IIFCI. Indian Infrastructural Finance Company Limited, IIFCI. Small Industrial Development Banks of India, SIDBI. Clear? So these are the banks. So today in this class we are going to discuss about IFCI and IDBI. We are going to discuss about IFCI and IDBI. Clear all of you? So please concentrate on this class. First and the foremost bank here we are going to learn is about IDBI Bank. IDBI full form is what? Industrial Development Bank of India Limited. I repeat, Industrial Development Bank of India Limited. This word industrial development itself is giving some information to us that this bank has been specially laid and started for the development needs of industries. These industries may be tiny scale, small scale, medium scale and long scale. All the four types of the industries what are existing. Small scale if you come for, that is tiny scale if you come for, the investment in this tiny scale or the capital may be less than 5 lakhs or up to 5 lakhs. Whereas when you come for small scale 5 to 35 lakhs. When you come from medium scale 35 to 1 crore and large scale more than 1 crore. In this way all the various types of industries what are existing, finance is lent and problems are going to be solved by this IDBI, that is Industrial Development Bank of India. So when this Industrial Development Bank of India came into existence it came into existence in 1964 as a public sector bank. When this came into existence is in 1964 as a public sector bank. You can say here the Industrial Bank of Limited, commonly known as IDBI. It is one of the leading bank of India, fourth largest bank. It is a fourth largest bank in India. It was established on July 1st, 1964 by an Act of Parliament. It was established on July 1st, 1964 by the Act of Parliament. The total revenue of the bank is 45 crores 5 lakhs 40,000. I repeat, this is one fourth biggest bank in India, leading industrial bank in India. Started on 1st July 1964 by the Act of Parliament. Clear? Diversification of IDBI means other ways which it is taking to move into the public. Means not only as an industrial bank to move into the public, in the remaining other ways also it want to catch this industrial development. So how it is becoming diversified? Okay, in September 2003, IDBI occupied the entire shareholding. Previously, RBI used to invest and the private people used to invest. So here what happened is, it took the complete shareholding. Government of India has decided to transform IDBI into which bank? Commercial bank, where the rate of interest is going to be more in the commercial bank. On July 29th, there is some decision has been taken place regarding this IDBI. Who took the decision? Board of Directors of IDBI and IBDI took the responsibility, means discussion that they want to merge these two banks. Two banks changing into one bank. In which year they made this decision? 2004 they made the decision on July 29th. By 2005 merging has been over. Two banks has been mingled into one single bank. Okay, that completed in which year? 2005. All are listening? On 1st July to 1964, IDBI came into existence, but on July 29, 2004, some changes has been made that it merged with one more bank and finally changed into one bank in 2005. Clear? So when you come for the functions of IDBI, to provide financial assistance to industrial enterprises, basic function, essential function is that to provide the finance for all the industrial sectors. It may be direct assistance or indirect assistance. How it is direct assistance and how it is indirect assistance is if it is giving the finance to RRBs, regional rural banks, or if it is lending the finance to state cooperative banks, district cooperative banks and primary sectors, primary agricultural sectors which are existing in villages. This comes under indirect assistance because this bank is not reaching directly to the people. It is coming through some other bank and then the finance is reached to the people. Indirect assistance. When you go for direct assistance, if you go for ICICI and take the loan, the banks are giving. If the IDBI, if you go directly and fill the application, you may get the loan for some industrial problem. Direct assistance. Here, IDBI also works for advancement of technology and other welfare schemes to ensure economic development. So what is happening? IDBI is not only lending the finance for the industrial sector, for the agricultural sector, for the cottage industries and for the allied activities, but also it is thinking in a new way, that is advancement of technology. Advancement of technology means what? Some industries are running the old machinery. Okay, they want to replace with the new machinery which is coming to market. Means they want to invest on equipment. They want the capital for this advanced technology. So they are taking the loan from IDBI. Welfare schemes to ensure economic development. How far this is coming? So the employer should give some benefits to their employees who are working in the health hazard industries. Okay, medical allowance or medical claim or some facilities should be given to these people who are working in industrial sector. So if the schemes are given or the PF deductions or some medical expenses are given, means automatically the employee's satisfaction increases. When the employee satisfaction increases, productivity of the industry increases, output of the industry increases. When the output of the industry increases, profits also increases. When the profits are increasing, automatically it is the economic development of the country, where the country is able to develop and the industries are able to develop successfully and reach the needs of all the people existing in the country. IDBI acts as an catalyst in various industrial development programs, not only advancement of technology, not only the welfare sector, direct and indirect assistance and industrial development, it is also creating some development awareness programs in public, support services for creating a vibrant domestic capital market. What is the meaning of domestic capital market? We are taking the loans or we are taking the credit facility from the World Bank and other banks and other country banks, depending upon. So what is the main goal of this IDBI is, we should be able to come into that position that we should provide the capital or the finance to all the Indians by ourselves without depending upon other countries. So the capital should be raised, the fund should be raised, liquid cash should be raised. So it is doing the services of capital market, spreading the capital in the country itself without depending upon other country, adjusting this finance, domestic capital market. Clear? And it is also providing 24 hours service. Nowadays you are able to see, if you draw the money in the ATM, immediately you are getting the message. Means someone is working for you people to send the message, as well as the same person is also working for banks also. So account alerts, internet banking, phone banking, SMS banking are the extraordinary services offered by this IDBI. Okay, capital of IDBI, if you see, when the bank has been started in 1964, only 50 crores was the capital held. Actually, capital, with its capital it started. Minimum capital to start the bank in 1949 is only 5 lakhs. Later on, RBI has been raised, invested the capital in IDBI, that is how many crores is? 50 crores. By 1976, this has been happened. By 1976, the capital of IDBI is 50 crores. That is by February 16th. The IDBI was started from April 2004 as a retail banking operations. Presently, what is the capital of IDBI is 2000 crores, and more than 2000 crores is the capital of IDBI now. Next important bank, if you see, that is Industrial Finance Corporation of India, IFCI. Industrial Finance Corporation of India, IFCI is the next biggest bank in India. The Government of India set up IFCI under IFCI Act in July 1948. Which year this bank came into existence? In 1948 the bank came into existence. It is the first development financial institution in the country to cater the long-term finance needs of the industrial sector. It is the biggest or the first industry in India to start and solve the problems of industrial sector. The main objective, what is the main objective of this IFCI? Lending the finance. For whom it want to lend the finance? For medium and large scale. For medium and large scale industries, it want to lend the finance as a main objective of this IFCI. I repeat the points once again. Government of India set up IFCI according to the Act in July 1948. It is the first development financial bank of industries in India. The main objective is to give for medium and the long term finance for all the industries. Next, when you come to the capital, the authorized capital of the corporation as per IFCI Act 1948 was rupees 10 crores. It raised to 20 crores according to the Act of 1972. With the initial capital, what was the capital when the bank has been started in India in 1948? It was only 10 crores. Later on, it has been raised to 20 crores. Now it is in thousands of crores. In these thousands of crores, 50% of the capital, who is giving? IDBI is giving 50% of capital, and remaining 50% by banks, cooperative banks, insurance company, investment trust. 50% purely by IDBI, remaining 50% by insurance companies, cooperative banks, other banks and other investment trust. Okay, activities, if you see the activities, direct financing, incidental activities, promotional activities. What is direct financing? If the bank is directly related to the people, if the people are able to take directly loans from here, okay, it is giving to the common people, it is also giving to the banks who are in need of, not only to the people but the other industrial banks also, it is lending the finance. Incidental activities, any compensation should be paid by the employer to the employees in an industry. Any fire accident, okay, anything happened, any activity happened in an industry, for that they should pay the compensation. Means for that activities also you can take the loans, which comes under incidental activities. Promotional activities, any new advertisements, okay, any new product you want to start with the same company, starting the new products, or you want to renovate your industry, or you want to update your technology, or you want to get the new machinery and the equipment in your organization. For that also you require the finance, which is called as a promotional activities. So it is lending the finance for direct financing, incidental activities, as well as the promotional activities. Resources, if you see, resource means what? How the money is coming to the IFCI, who is giving the money and who is investing the money in IFCI. Loans from RBI, this IFCI is taking the loan from RBI. Share capital is also coming from the private people and the other people who are investing. Retained earnings, the savings of the banks comes under retained earnings. Repayment of loan, you took the loan for 20 years or you took the loan for 5 years or 10 years. You are repaying the amount. Regularly the money is coming to the bank. Repayment of the loan. Issue of bonds. Government sells some bonds. If you are purchasing that bonds and you are selling these bonds to other people at high rate of interest, issue of bonds. You are also taking loan from the government, from the credit from the fine of other countries, from the foreign lending agencies also, if you are getting the loan. Next, commercial banks in international capital market. You are purchasing some securities from the international market. In this way, the capital is coming to the IFCI, which is acting as a huge capital for lending the loans for all the industrial development programs in India. Functions and activities, if you see, IFCI lent huge loans, nearly 462. You can see here nearly 462 billions of rupees are given loans for 5,707 companies. Okay, this IFCI has been sanctioned funds up to how many millions? 462 millions rupees for 5,000 and more companies. It gives the loan. Okay, it is the biggest contribution for large scale industries. Large scale industry people are taking the huge loans from this IFCI. The business enterprises also are expanding. The small business or enterprises are also able to expand because of the IFCI lending the loans. This bank is also helping all the industrial sector in India. It is playing a very, very important role. Okay, I hope that all the students are able to understand the subject, and today we learnt about two banks, that is IDBI and IFCI. IDBI started on July 1st, 1964 and IFCI started in 1948 according to the Parliamentary Act. Clear? Everyone. So these two banks are also very important. Almost all the banks are important for the final examination, and you will be confused when the question comes in the examination to write the answer. So what I request is individually you revise the topic so that it may remember to you. You can remember the particular topic. Clear? So I request all the students to stay at home, be safe, and revise the subject and listen the classes. Thank you, students. Thank you very much.